You stopped at reduce and you were explaining apply and apply filter.
So let me write it down. Sorry. Okay. And so apply is used when we want to apply a function on a row or a column of a data frame. Is used when we want to apply a function on every element of a data frame. With me now, I will start with some of the examples today. So let me make a dummy data frame. I'll say PD. I'll say PD to data frame. I'll create a dictionary the same way I have created yesterday. I'll take values, say 1, 2, 3, 4. B, I'll take 10, 20, 30, 40. C, let me take 100, 200, 300, and 400. Okay. So with this dictionary, I'll specify the index as well. I'll say df1. So this is the data frame that has been created. The similar data frame we have created yesterday as well. Now, as I mentioned you that apply function is basically used when we want to apply it on a row or a column, which means when we say row or a column of a data frame, these are basically known as series. A specific row or a specific column is known as series, the thing that we have seen initially as well. So in other words, we can say that when we want to apply a function on any of the axes of data frame or any value of series. So would it be the right statement for you guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Come again, sir.
So if I'll say that apply function is basically used on any of the axes of the data frame, either row or column, or on a series, because both are the same things. So do you remember what is series, or do you want me to tell again?
Can you?
Okay.
Can you say please?
So if it is a data frame, So if it is a data frame, let's example, and if I'll take a particular, so okay, here as well, if this is a data frame, and if I'll say if I'll say it will say it is a series. If I select either a row or a column, it will be a panda series. So when if it is a data frame, this will be a series or this will be a series, but the combination of these series will be a data frame. So same is the thing that is being reflected here. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Now if I'll say def ABC, say ABC sum, and I'll say row, or I'll say R, whatever it is. And I'll say return R dot sum. Okay. And if I'll say now df1 say new is equal to df1 dot apply ABC sum on, sorry, axis is equal to 1. Axis 1 is, what do you mean by axis 1?
B.
Column.
Column
Yeah.
wise.
So okay, so column wise means, okay, let me show you. If I'll say shift enter, so okay, somebody is joining. So normally, oh, guys, just give me a second. I know why I have been logged out every time.
So, but the screen is visible when you log out.
Yeah, I don't know what happens. Okay, so basically, axis is equal to 1 is for row when the function is applied to row. Axis 0 when the function is being applied to column. So I'll show you. I'll say shift enter. Now if I'll say a new column is created. Okay, I guess axis 1 is equal to column only. I am not remembering. Okay, let me confirm you. If I'll say, okay, let me try it again. If I'll say ABC and I specified new, so new is a new column that is created and it is making the sum of the rows that I have passed. Okay, let me check. I guess x is equal to 1 Python. One and 0. 0 is represent row and 1 represent column. Yeah. 0 and 1 in Python using apply, I guess, changes. Yeah, axis 1 is equal to okay. Okay.
X1 a row, axis 0 is column.
Normally I forget this all the time. Where is the Jupyter notebook? This one. So a new column is created, and for this axis I'll just confirm by typing 0 that what is happening. So when a new row is created, ABC new, now this is applying ABC sum on every row, and it is giving it in the column that is new. So let me try it with again with this, and x is equal to say 0. I guess this changes when we this changes when we use apply function. So let me confirm you guys. So there's a logic like why axis 1 is used when we use apply function on a data frame. Axis 1 is used for basically the rows, 0 for applying the function to each column, and 1 for applying the function to each row. So that's the thing which I remember. So axis is equal to 1 when a function is being applied to each row, and axis is equal to 0 when a function is being applied to each column. So that's the thing which I I remember. So now I said df1 dot apply ABC sum x is equal to 1. Now it will return the sum of every row into the new column that I have created, that is so this is apply. So let me add some more thing to this. So now if I say df
Sir,
dot sorry yeah
sir, can you please explain what this function is doing?
this function is whatever the variable. So this whenever we say, so whatever argument is coming, it is doing the sum of it, is the thing that I have mentioned over here. So this function will not work for any individual arguments, because for individual argument what will be the context of getting a sum. So this function is specifically made for apply, because whenever apply is used, it takes a series and applies the functions to it. So that's why I said df1 dot apply x is equal to 1. So it will take every row 1, 10, 100, pass it there, and it will calculate the sum. So this function has a capability to be applied over the apply only. So this function will not work on individual elements when taken into consideration.
So if you want to sum the columns,
Okay, I'll do that. Okay, is your doubt clear? If yes, then I'll proceed
Yes,
to the
sir.
next one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. If I'll say, okay, if I need to select df1 dot loc, so if I'll say r1, it will give me the first row. If I'll say df1 dot log r say 5, I create row 5, and I'll say df1 dot apply, and I say ABC sum x is equal to 1, x is equal to 0, sorry, earlier I specified 1, it was 1 only, I say 0. And now if I'll say shift enter, and if I'll say df1, it will be the sum of the rows which I've got. some of yeah, the columns which I've got here.
Okay, so can you go to the sum of rows so that I can know the algorithm? I mean, I can know the syntax, please.
So can you scroll up a little?
Hello.
Hello. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Somebody was asking some doubt. Somebody called.
Sir,
Is that-
actually, I have just one general doubt while returning the function, sir. Can I
Mhm.
ask?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, sir, actually, whenever you're writing anything in function, I understand that. But while you're writing return, then can you
Mhm.
please explain how it works? And if I want to use that return value, and if I want to, suppose if we're returning some variable, some integer like 7,
Mhm.
and I want to check if this 7 is doing something, and used to use 7 in a further coding, how should I do that, and how the logic works, sir?
Okay, just give me a second. Okay, guys, are we done with this? So if I'll proceed to the next.
I'm getting errors.
Okay, you can try it later on. This notebook will be saved automatically. So there might be some error because of syntax or something.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me tell you. Say if I'll say def ABC, I'll say A comma B. I'll say return A plus B. Very simple function. Okay. Now if I'll say, and second function which I'll make here. So I'll tell you the difference which I've told you earlier as well, but let me tell you again. I'll say print A plus B. Okay, these are the two things which I've been doing. First, I've been doing it with print. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll say S is equal to ABC 5, 2. Okay, and second is ABC 5, 2. Now what I'll do is I'll make this a comment and I'll say, so I'm using print and I've been calling a function. I'll say shift enter. So it will say 7. Okay, now if I'll say S is equal to ABC 5, 2. Now it will be 7, but I'll say S. S will not give me any value. But in case I will remove this print from here and I'll repeat the same exercise, it will give me 7. If I'll say S is equal to ABC 7, it will say S. And if I'll say what is S, so it will say 7. So return has a capability to return whatever the output is to the value where it can be stored. But print does not have this capability. So print function only prints. Return function has a capability to further use it in another variable and another program.
Sir, after this, you have written return a plus b, and then you have called the function abc52.
Mhm.
Okay, so you mean to say the variable at 52 is is summing and output is 7? Then how I know, how am I knowing that it is returning and output is 7? I'm not getting actually.
So when I allocated this ABC 5,2 to S,
Okay.
so when I typed what is the value of S, the value automatically came to 7. Okay.
Okay.
But when I use print here, I will not use return. Okay. I'll say
Okay.
this, but if I'll say S is equal to ABC7 and I see what is the value of S, it will say the value is not getting stored in S.
Sir, you mean to say that this time the function is not returning anything?
Function is not returning anything, it is just printing, which means it does not have capability to assign this output of this function to any other
Right.
variable. But when we say return, it has a capability.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay. Okay.
Okay, anybody want me to scroll up or can I proceed?
No, sir. Can you please show that return thing again? I can note. I can see them. Okay, sir.
Can you please scroll up, sir? 2 rows. Yes. So, where there is no scroll. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
So now the same function which I have made, I need to write it in a form of in a single line. Then what should I write? I'll say df1 new is equal to df1 dot apply
And,
lambda. This R will come here now, R, and I'll just copy and say R dot sum. That's it. To access is equal to 1. We'll do this. I'll comment this out. I will comment this out. I'll say shift enter. Now if I'll say the df1 will have the new value. So what I have done is I have just applied it with lambda. So lambda, this kind of functions, the process is simple. What you can do is you can simply say df1. So the same thing, df1 dot apply. The thing will remain same till here. df1 dot apply, and you'll say lambda. You will take what was the value R. You will take R here, R, and you will say we'll take this. What is the, it automatically returns this value, and you will say R dot sum comma x is equal to 1. Everything will remain same, and this is being made as a function with lambda expression. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Also.
So let me tell you now apply map. So apply map is used for data frame and used for element wise operation. It has been the thing which has been optimized, and it is it is comparatively fast than the apply function. Okay, so now the thing is, if I'll say df1, the df1 now, I'll say df1 dot apply map, and I'll say about this import numpy as np, apply map np dot square. np has with parameter np dot, one second guys, I'll say df1 dot apply map np dot square only, not squares. I'll say shift enter. Now it will square every element. So guys, these functions, let me tell you the key. These functions are pretty much simple, provided you only know the context, how they are being used. So the thing is, now I simply said np dot square. This means apply map itself knows that it needs to be applied to every value. So when I say np dot square, it will automatically square out the each and every value in the data frame. If I'll say dot apply and I'll pass any argument, then it automatically means whenever the apply is used, which means entire row or a column needs to be passed. So this depends on the function that you're using. So if you're using map, this means it will be returning the same list as an output. If you're using a reduce, then it will be, then first you need to install it with the func tools or func tool. Then after that, it will reduce the output to a single element. When we use filter, it means it will not return the original list, but it will return some elements of the list as an output. So these are the things which you need to remember whenever you are working on any of the function, because these functions automatically provide values, or basically the context to the function and the data on which they have been applied. Are you getting me what I am trying to say?
Can you explain again the difference between apply and apply map?
So when I said apply and I mentioned row, and when I said df1 dot apply, it automatic and x is equal to 1, it automatically took every row, performed that operation and stored into another value, that is d in case of the x is equal to 1. But when I said apply map, it automatically squared every value in the data. That's the difference. Apply map is used whenever we need to apply it on every element of a data frame. Apply is used whenever we need to perform any operation either on a row of a data frame or a column of a data frame.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, sir.
Anybody else, any doubt till now?
So we have understood everything, but can we square all the rows or all the columns?
Yeah, you can, but for that you need to use apply, not apply map. So now as well, all the rows and all the columns have been squared, because if you want this operation, say you want to store the square of all rows, the square sum of all rows into another variable, then you, because you are now performing an operation on sum of squares, then you use apply. But if you want to square each and every value in a row and column, then it will be apply map, because now you are saying that you want to perform this operation on every row or column of the every value of the data frame. Right now the function that we have performed, apply map, is applying the function to each and every element of it.
Okay, sir.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, if we have a list, can we apply the function on that list? Use apply.
So yesterday that we have seen, you can use map,
Yeah,
because
yes.
list is an iterable.
Okay, yes, I can use map.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Now guys, the other thing is, when we have to work on so now till now we have basically covered the pandas library, the numpy library, the functions, the loop part is bit covered into this, but I have not covered loops in detail. So loop is a thing that I have to cover in detail. Another important library, that is a matplotlib library and a seaborn library, are the two libraries which we need to cover, because these entire things, say pandas, numpy, matplotlib, seaborn, are basically the basic libraries that are always being used. But when we say this library, like sklearn library or another library, then these are basically used for performing the operations like a machine learning kind of operation. So that is the difference. So have you guys do you guys know what is the function of matplotlib library? Matplotlib library is used for plotting. When we say plotting, it means in case we need to plot any graph, in case we need to plot any visualization in Python, then we have many options, but one of the three basic options that we have is matplotlib library, seaborn library, or pandas plotting. So when we say pandas plotting itself uses matplotlib on the backend. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now I will start with the basics of matplotlib, seaborn, and some other plotting libraries. So just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. Let me have a glass of water. So I will save this one. And I will start with a new one. I'll say new Python 3. So let me write it down. So I will say so floating. So other floating libraries are Seaborn, pandas, floating as well. Now before this, I'll say shift enter. First, what I need to do in case the matplotlib is not installed, by default it comes as a library. I'll say anaconda prompt, and I'll say conda install. This will update it with the latest version. So in case any of the previous version is there, but this will make this for the latest version. So let me do it for you like right now. So I already have told you the ways to install the libraries. So this is one of the way which I prefer. Another is pip. Third is through navigator. Fourth is through Jupyter Notebook only. Fifth is by copying it the package and pasting it in the required folder. That will also work.
Sir, if we install one time, it is fine now, sir.
It's fine, but no, normally like in case any of the new package and any of the new version has come, so for that only I do it all the time. Else, like if it has been the previous version as well, that then also it will work. So I'll show you say how to get the version from like which version of matplotlib we are using. Yeah, let it be completed and then I'll show you. So guys, yeah, say it says installed. I'll say first I'll say import mat plot lib dot pyplot as plt. I'll say enter. So now it is importing. I'll say okay, import just give me a second, guys. Somebody's calling. So if I'll say import matplotlib, I'll say shift enter, and I'll say dot version. It is saying 3.1.3. So now if I'll say here it says 3.4.1. So now the thing is, what I need to do in case I want to install this version 3.4.1, then what I need to do is, because that one is installing 3.4.1 something and 3.1.3, but the latest version that we have is 3.4.1. So what I need to do to install this version, in case it is very much required, what I'll do is I'll say download files. I'll copy this file. I'll copy the WHL file for this. This is for Mac. This is for Linux. This is for Windows 32. If my window is 64, I'll say window 64. I'll copy this file, and I'll unveil it using Python. This is in wheel format, and I'll save it in the respective Python folder, and I'll get the latest version. But right now the latest version is not required, so I'll proceed with this one only, with the one which I have. Okay, where is that? Here it is. I'll say now, let's example, I make a simple list. I'll say x is equal to,
Sir,
yeah,
so is there any provision in Jupyter Notebook where we want to know about the particular library and what it does and what arguments it passes? How do we know it? I want to study about that. If
so there's a function help. I'll say help. I'll say, let me see if it works. So here it is. So it will tell you about, this is object oriented plotting library, a procedural import matplotlib.pyplot.splt, and this is installed there and all the things. In case you want to learn about any library in detail, you can just say on the Python official document, you'll say lib Python. Then it will say matplotlib.org, or the documentation it will go to, and you will see so apart from this, it has now the 3D kind of function. What are the new functions that are coming, and what are the different things? So you need to explore this site only. This site will have the entire thing, say installation tutorials, environment variables, toolkits. So you need to install it somewhere, you will get it, like what are the different functions and all the things you can use. Personally, I go to the online thing only to get about it. So I'll say tutorials. So it will tell you about each and everything: access, artist, advanced tutorial, colors, whatever the things that you have, text, toolkits. So all of the things that you okay.
So does
you,
it say what syntax to be passed to for these things to know?
sorry, come again.
Syntax to be passed to write and,
Your voice is
the
breaking.
notebook.
Your voice is breaking a lot.
Hello?
Your voice is breaking a lot.
Sir, actually, fine. Okay,
So she's
sir,
asking
continue.
what syntax we need to pass to find that page on Google.
But so you can simply say,
Matplotlib.org.
yeah. So normally it will come as as a first page. Whenever you type, first page will be about that official site only. You can say matplotlib Python. First is matplotlib.org. If we'll say NumPy Python, it will say numpy.org is the thing that came. You see here. It will say pandas.python. It will come as pandas.org. That's the official documentation. So anything you pass,
Okay, okay.
it will be the page that say pandas pydata.org. So
Okay,
it will
okay,
be
sir.
that thing only. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Now if I'll say,
So it will give the program.
it will not give you a program, it will give you the official documentation about like what functionalities
Can you
these.
scroll up? Yeah, yeah. So, can't we like just write import matplotlib as PLT?
Yeah, you can use that, but the thing is okay, let me show you. So this is the Anaconda where I've been going. Anaconda lib side packages. So it has matplotlib folder, which means when I said import conda installed matplotlib, this matplotlib folder will automatically come here. If I'll say import matplotlib as ABC, then it will take this entire matplotlib folder into my Python environment. But the plotting functionality is here. Say pyplot. You see a py file here. That is pyplot. If I'll open this,
Sir, can you repeat once again? Your voice is not clearly audible.
okay. So the thing is, guys, whenever we are working on any of the library, so the thing is, this library is being stored in the Anaconda folder. Say matplotlib library, if you see, is here only. Matplotlib library is in the Anaconda folder only. So if you'll say import matplotlib, then every time, say if I'll say import matplotlib is as ABC, then every time I have to say abc.pyplot because the plotting capability is there in a file that is this pyplot. So if you'll bring this entire, so now when I said import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT, then it has taken this particular file into my Jupyter environment, into my Python environment. If I'll say import matplotlib, then it will take entire matplotlib folder. Say if I'll say import matplotlib as ABC, then this matplotlib will come into my Python environment and as ABC. And whenever I need to use pyplot, I'll say abc.pyplot. So that will be a repetition. That's why we use import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now if I'll make a variable, say x is equal to m1, m2, m3, m4, m5, m6. Okay. Now if I'll say y is equal to 10, 20, 12, 13, 15, 16. So this is y. And if I'll say here, so now I have two variables. One is the x variable and second is the y variable. If I'll say plt dot float, so now this plt has a, what is this plt? What is this plt? Plt is matplotlib dot
Pyplot.
pyplot. Now if I'll go here, pyplot, if I'll say, but I have used here, I used here plt dot plot. So if I'll say plot here, so plt dot plot is one thing. Import matplotlib. Okay. This will have the plot as a library that is defined, which has certain capabilities. So somewhere you will find a plot kind of function that is being defined here. Let me say def figure.
So we can find the whole def space plot.
Yeah, you can say that. Def plotting, def plot file, def plot you see here. A def kind of function is being made here. So when I say import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt, this pyplot library came as plt. When I say plt dot plot, which means now we are using this function plt dot plot. Okay, now if I'll come there, if I'll go there, plt dot plot, which means it has arguments, certain arguments, that is scale x, scale y, that is x and y. If I'll simply say x comma y, if I'll say shift enter, it will plot. And if I'll say plt here only dot show, I don't know what is not from, just give me a second. Okay, I don't know why it is not coming. I'll let it come. Okay, let me do. So normally this is basically consolidated kind of a thing that we need to make. X, y, I don't know. 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 x y plt dot plot x comma y plt dot show. Why it is not coming? Just give me a second. Import.
Sir, x also should be an integer, no?
No, no, no,
No,
no.
no, no.
Import matplotlib dot.
So plt dot plot of x comma y itself gives the output.
Yeah, idly.
Yeah.
Lib dot y plot as plt. I don't know why it is not showing. Where it has gone. ID it should have come. Okay, let me see. Let me copy it, and I'll say yeah. I don't know why it was not coming there. So it shows the plot of x and y. X is the months and y are the values. So now with this, we have different capabilities that are available depending on what other functions it can offer. So somebody also, yeah, somebody also said, how can we see the different functions, different things are there in the library? So with that, so I was answering that only. If you'll go to any of the like library, and if you'll open it, you will see whatever functions it can do. Say it has a function hist 2D, it has a function hlines, it has the function, say, event plot, whatever the function that is mentioned here, it will, all these functions will be available in these in that library. And you know
Sir, can you
this.
repeat?
So yeah, I was saying that somebody was asking like how many libraries are there in a particular, how many functions are there in so guys, just give me a second. Somebody- sorry guys. So yeah, I was on the point, like in case anybody wants to see like what all functions the any of the library has, then just go into this Anaconda like site packages, search for that function, search for the file. Say you're using NumPy, import NumPy as np. Just go for in NumPy package, there will be file called NumPy, and you can use that to identify which of the function you want to use. Let's say which of the file you want to use, and this file will have all the functions which you guys want to study on. So this will cover the entire functions of that. That's why we have a capability to call these functions. So are you guys with me?
Sir, can you like give an example, like how to call the
Okay,
functions on?
so the thing is, when I went on the, when I say matplotlib.pyplot as plt, and when I went to the file of pyplot within matplotlib, it is showing me, which is on the screen right now, it is showing us the entire list, the entire packages. Say it has hist package, it has hist 2D package, it has sorry, hist 2D function, hist function, it has, say, on the screen it is has 2next function. So these all are the functions, are ready made values that are available as functions which can be used. Okay guys, so if you want to know what all functions a particular library has, then this is the most authentic way in like to know which what all functions this particular library has. Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Now the thing is, when I use this matplotlib library and I said
Sir, I'm
PLT dot-
unable to see your screen actually.
is my screen not visible?
No, sir.
So it is visible.
Visible, sir.
It's visible.
Yeah, please retry your connection. So I guess it is visible for all, and it's visible from my end as well. So please retry your connection.
Okay,
Sir?
let me check once.
Yeah.
So whenever we are trying to do any visualization in Python, so we import two things, that is matplotlib and then matplotlib.pyplot,
Mhm.
or
We only use matplotlib.pyplot because this pyplot has a capability to plot various graphs.
okay. Okay.
Okay. Now giving you the another context of it, which I was on. So if I'll say, so here I'll say if I want to include various other things here. So if I'll say, I'll copy this, I'll paste this here, and I'll say so plt.plot plt dot x label and
How are
label
you
is
getting
this.
the autofill part?
So I press tab.
Okay.
I'll say plt dot yl and press tab. It will say y label, and I'll say sale, and I'll say plt dot show. Now it will show me the value as the month and sales. And if I'll say here as well, plt dot title, and I'll say monthly sales data. Sorry. Okay. Now what I'll do is, so I have basically used this graph. So now if let's example, I here only I'll say when I say x comma y, I'll say comma say color is equal to red. So this will give you the red color line. So these are the things which you can change here. And if you'll say apart from color, you can say the marker is equal to say asterisk. You will see asterisk marks over the line. So there are many functions that are associated to it. You can try as many as you can, and they will come. So you can use any of the function. You can say here you want to say line style is equal to okay. So I guess it is the error of, okay, triple mark is not there. I'll say double mark. Yeah, so this will give you the dashed line. So these are the different functions that are available all the time, but these are not restricted to the ones that I've been using. So here, the another thing is, so okay, one is I have written this function. So it also give you combination. So here basically I've used this color, marker, and line style. So instead of this, I can simply say like, sorry, I will say color was red, marker was star, line style was double slash. So if I'll use this will also give me this value. I don't need to write these statements again and again. Are you guys with me?
So that means only one time we can assign that color equal to red and marker
get you.
equal to star.
I didn't get you. Please come again.
So you have given R star and dash dash, right?
Yeah.
The first time you have specified that color equal to red and marker equal to star and line style equal to dots.
Yeah.
You have only represented once. No need to represent the second time, but only
So
we have.
so that was the one way to represent it. This was the one way to represent it, and this is the another way to represent it. So this was the another way to represent. This was one of the way. So instead of this way, you can use this, where you have to type less.
Instead of R, can you keep G, sir?
Yeah, you can keep anything. You can keep G as well. It will give you the green line.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So now the thing is, I'll say here y1 is equal to 100, or I'll say 20, I'll say 50, 60, 65, 54, 34, and say 45. And I'll say plt dot plot x comma y1, and I'll say a yellow line, say with, so with instead of star I'll say O, and I'll say minus. I'll say shift enter. So here we will be getting two lines. Okay, one in yellow color and second in green color with the like format that we have mentioned. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so we can also use plt dot legend here. Okay, and I'll say plt dot show. Okay. Why legend has not come? Because here I need to mention the label. It said no handle with labels found to put in legend. So it need a handle label. So what is label? Let me tell you. Label. I need to say what is X specifying. What is this Y1 specifying? So label is equal to Y is, say, sales 2020. So label is equal to Y sales 2021. That's example. I'll say plt.show. Now it will give me the legend as well. This is the legend.
So what is that GO and YO? That
This one, which one? This
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
means this line is of yellow color. This is of yellow color.
Okay.
This has O as a markers. So this has star as a markers. This is O as a markers, and the line style is double dot. Let's remove this. I'll say this. This will be a dot plot. I'll say simply this. Then this will be a simple line plot.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Please ask.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay.
It's clear.
Okay. Now, in a similar way, what we can do, we can keep on adding the lines. We can do a number of things with it. So these are the things that you guys will be exploring when we will be working on this actual data. Then we will be exploring. Another important thing is, so let's example, we want to create 2 or 3 graphs in a single matrix or a single space. Then what we do is, let me tell you, I'll say plt dot, you will get this type of a code everywhere. Figure, fig size, here you say tuple. Why tuple? Because this is the value that does not needs to be changed. So 10 comma 10. If I'll say, so this will allocate a 10 by 10 area to the plot that we have been making. I'll say plt dot subplot. So if I'll say 2 comma 2 comma 1, I'll tell you what does it mean. I'll say
What's plt.legend?
the legend is this part.
So
Got it?
that should be Y1 says 2021, right?
Yeah. Okay, I wrongly mentioned, so you can say y1 here. Okay. So are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Now if I'll say, if I'll paste this out and I'll say x, y, I remove this. Okay. Okay. Now the thing is, if I'll say plt dot subplot 2 comma 2 comma 2. Okay, again this plot I'm making. Again I say 2 comma 2 comma 3. Again a plot I'm making. I'll say 2 comma 2 comma 4. 4. So I have made these 4 plots here, and I'll say after this plt dot show. You see here we have 4 plots in our area. So now let me tell you, when I say plt dot figure 10 comma 10, so what it does, let me tell you. It will allocate a 10 by 10 area, okay, to me. And when I say plt dot subplot 2 comma 2 comma 1, this means it will say 2 comma 2 is 4. So what it will do, it will further divides this space into 4 equal parts. Okay, and if I say plt dot subplot 2 comma 2 comma 1, this means out of these 4 areas that I have been using this first one to plot this graph.
So how did you divide that figure 10 by 10 into 4 parts?
So when I mentioned plt dot subplot 2 comma 2 comma 1, it automatically takes first 2 parameters and divides the figure into 4 parts. And I say which is 2 rows and 2 columns, and I say 1, which means it will be using this first part, this is second, this is third, this is fourth. It automatically uses the first part for this, second part for this, third part for this, because I mentioned 3, and fourth part for this.
So if we give 3 comma 3 comma 1, then it is divided into 9 equal parts, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay,
So
sir.
we can try it. We can say 3 comma 3 comma 1. I'll say 3 comma 3 comma 2. I'll say, okay, let it be like this because this will be for your reference. I'll make a new plot. I'll copy this. I'll say 3 comma 3 comma 1, 3 comma 3 comma 2, 3 comma 3 comma 3, 3 comma 3 comma 4. So let's example I use this one. So now it has divided into 9 parts. 4 parts it has been using. Rest of the parts 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 it has left because we have not used those. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir, clear.
Yes, sir.
So no, can you repeat?
So now the thing is,
So can you paste the code again and change the 3 comma 3 to
to 2.
no, sir. You have copied all this code, and you can you have already copied it. You can paste it down,
Uh-huh.
and the full plot show,
Uh-huh.
and you can make a change for
Okay,
5,
okay.
6, 7. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So now the thing is, if I'll say 3 comma 3 comma 4, I'll say here 3 comma 3 comma 9, let's example. Okay, I'll use this and I'll say shift enter. Now it will use this to plot 9 plots. This is 3 comma 3 comma 1, 3 comma 3 comma 2, 3, 4, and this is 9th. So now what I have done is I have allocated this 10 by 10 area for the plots that I will be making. So what it will do is it will allocate an area which has 9 rows and 9 columns.
Hmm.
So it will be like,
So 3 rows, 3 columns.
yeah, 3 rows and 3 rows and 3 columns. So like these 3 rows and 3 columns. And when I say 3 comma 3 comma 1 and this plot, so this plot will be made in this area. When I say 3 comma 3 comma 9, this plot will be made in this area, that is this area. With me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anybody in doubt?
No, sir.
Okay.
So can you explain the function legend, sir, what it is doing?
The legend.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the legend is nothing but what each line is representing that we have made. So this is, so legend is just to get this symbol.
Okay.
So if I remove the legend from here and as a shift enter, in the ninth plot, you will not get this value. That what this is line is representing. But here you are getting this. So legend means what this line is representing. If we want to get here, then we use legend.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So I have say yeah, this data set I have. I'll say okay. Spelling is
So
wrong.
I think we need to remove that R.
No, R will be here only. I guess the let me see what is the problem. Okay. Yeah. This will have the data. I guess the file name was not correct. The spelling was not correct, sorry. So the thing is, I'll say calls is equal to that dot columns. I'll say shift enter. I'll say calls. So these are the columns. Say the different columns that we have for this thing. So I'll say that 1 is equal to that dot. So I'll say that dot head. So it has various columns here. If we want to remove any column, so I'll say del dat, say I want to remove the pregnancies here. I'll say like this. Now I'll say dat dot, it will have the all other columns, but we can keep whatever we want to. This is a normal syntax. So if I'll say now, if I'll say plt dot figure fig size is equal to say 20 by 10, whatever fig size I can take. I'll say enter. I'll say for I in range. Okay, before this, I'll say len call. Len, okay, I'll say data dot
Set that.
okay, that this is 8 columns. So I'll say in variable say call, I assigned it. I'll say this is how many columns. This will have 7 columns, but it is representing 8 because it will start from zeros. If you count it, it will be 1 2 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 0 to 8, which means it has 9 columns, but it is giving me the value 8. Okay, so what I will do here is say I'll allocate this figure size like this. I'll say for I in range len of call, I can specify len of call, and I'll say len of call means it will start from 0 and goes till 8, and I'll say plt dot subplot, so 3 comma 3 comma I plus 1. I plus 1 means 3 comma 3 comma 1, 3 comma 3 comma 2. It automatically increases. If I'll say that call I, that call I dot plot dot hist. I will tell you this, what is hist. Hist is histogram. I'll say that sorry. Now I'll say plt dot x label. I'll say call I, and I'll say plt dot show. Did you get it? What I have been trying to do?
So, but we are only having like 8 columns, no? So why we are plotting it from
No, sir. No.
graph?
So one we have 8 columns. So we have totally 9 columns. 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9
So, but
columns.
actually we deleted one, right?
We have deleted one, sir.
We have deleted one, but after deletion, yeah, so we have 8 columns.
So we can use 2 into 4, yeah, 4 into 2.
Yeah, we can use anything like 2 into 4, whatever the thing is. 2 4, we can use anything, but this was just for the reference. Say like
Sure,
this.
sir.
Okay,
So else is clear.
yeah.
So what is this I plus 1? Okay, got it.
So every time we'll get
Explain the
first,
code, sir.
second, third. So as
Yeah.
I will increase, yeah, will keep on increasing.
So what if it is 1, then again it is incrementing 1 plus 1, then 2. It is not showing 1.
So initially it will be 0 because it starts from 0. Okay. I
Okay.
said 0 plus 1. So first it will be plotting 2,4 and it will say first one. Then the second iteration it will plot the second plot.
So the
Third
range
plot.
does not include the last value, right?
Yeah, range does not include.
Okay.
It will, so outcome will not be printed.
Oh, it will
Outcome
be
column.
count from 0 to 7.
Yeah.
So then is 1 will be printed, 0 column will be printed first.
Zeroth column will be, zeroth column is which column? Is
Pregnancy.
glucose.
Glucose, yes.
So pregnancies I have removed already.
Yes, yes.
So 0 column, but when the 0 columns will come here, it will say 2, 4, 0 will become 1 on the place of 1 because I is 0, 0 plus 1 will be 1 and this will go at the first place. The second will go to the second place and so on. It will keep on going.
And we will not mention the Y column, sir, Y label. And with respect, it is X label we have mentioned.
So no, because when I say I will tell, that's why I said I'll tell you, when I say histogram is a univariate plot which only requires a single variable. So the line chart is a bivariate plot which requires two variables x and y. Histogram is a univariate plot that requires only single variable. I'll tell you what is histogram, but I just to basically tell you how we can use this subplot in through loops is a thing which I've been trying to tell you.
Yes.
Don't worry about hist. Hist is a univariate plot which has a single which works on a single variable. But when I say bar plot or a line plot, so line plot, it is basically univariate and bivariate plot. So bivariate means where we pass two variables x and y. Histogram is a univariate plot where we plot a single value. So that's why I use hist. Anybody else has any doubt?
Sir, since we have used a loop here, so all the graphs, that all 8 graphs will be coming in a single time.
So every time, so first a 20 by 10 area is being allocated. Okay, the first graph will come when I mentioned df so 2, 4, I plus 1. First graph will be plotted when the loop will be iterated for the second time. Second graph will be plotted, third graph will be plotted till the time I is not equal to the len of columns. It will keep on adding the graph.
Yeah, so that will be all be happening at a single page, like 20 cross 10.
Yes, yes. On single area.
Yeah, but earlier when you were explaining about the fixed size, there it was iterating every time because we had not used the loop. Is that the reason?
Yeah. Then it was iterating manually, but here it will iterate through loop.
Yeah, okay.
You see here, this 1 to 8 graphs have been made. 0 to 7 is 8, and every time it has said I plus 1, which means 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now the thing is, let me tell you what is univariate, bivariate, and multivariate. So univariate is basically a plot where we have a single value to be plotted. Single value is, say, the x-axis or any single variable needs to be plotted. Then we call it as a univariate plot. What is a bivariate plot? Bivariate plot is a plot when we are plotting two values. Say one is x, second is y. The line chart that we have seen. The third is multivariate. Multivariate is when we are plotting multiple variables together. For that, we use heat map. We use correlation matrix. So I'll tell you some of the examples of univariate plot, bivariate plot, and multivariate plot. I'll be covering these tomorrow. I'll take initial 15-20 minutes to tell you what is univariate, bivariate, and multivariate plot. But let me give you the context today. So the univariate, as I told you, when I need to plot a single variable, say let's example, I need to plot the age of all the candidates in the class. Okay, the age without your name. Okay, then we say, then we use histogram. That is a frequency based graph. I'll tell you tomorrow. How many of you know histogram? For how many of you have covered what is histogram? I guess for some of you have covered it in the basic statistics session. So I told you that histogram is a univariate plot where we need to plot the frequencies against nothing. So it is a univariate. Bivariate is when we are trying to relate two variables, say x and y. So a correlation matrix, a correlation between x and y, correlation between the behavior of two elements, the correlation between how the sun rises and how the temperature on the earth increases is a correlation. So don't worry, I'll tell you the things tomorrow in detail. So this is a correlation matrix. The third is a covariance matrix. These are the bivariate plots because we are trying to compare two variables together. Third is multivariate plot. Multivariate is when we are trying to see the behavior of multiple variables together. Then it is a multivariate plot. So when we say multivariate plot, then it comes to correlation matrix, a heat map, and many more things that we have, and that will be coming as a multivariate plot. So I will be covering these in detail tomorrow, and this matplotlib is not yet finished. I will cover some more functions, say bar plot, pie chart, and box plot as well, and many more functions tomorrow. So anybody any doubt till now?
So then this univariant, bivariant, and multivariant comes in a matplotlib.
Yeah. So all the libraries, matplotlib, seaborn, and pandas plotting, and in case you come across any other library as well, all they offer the capability to plot all these types of plotting that we have mentioned.
Okay, sir.
Anybody any doubt? Okay, so before anybody ask, so let me tell you, tomorrow is Thursday and the class will start at 9, if you guys remember.
Yes, sir.
Do you want me to start the second plotting, that is a pie or bar plot today?
No,
If
sir.
it is fine.
No, sir.
Okay.
It's fine.
So by when will this particular IPY file be available on the portal?
So tomorrow only you will be getting by 11:30, I guess, in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So guys, the thing is, a extra session which I'll take for you is regular expressions for Python. So I will tell you what are the regular expressions in Python. That is, so your basic class has to be finished by this Friday. That is, today is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tomorrow I will cover matplotlib, and probably on Friday I will take a small session on regular expressions, because this is not in your curriculum, but this has been becoming a very important topic when we are working on data exploration in form of text from Python. So we will be covering about the regular expressions as well, probably in the Friday session or in Saturday, wherever I'll get a time. So I will cover this regular expressions. These are also,
Say this on Saturday, sir. Say in Friday session or Monday session.
so I will cover it on Friday session most probably.
Okay, sir. Because I'm not
Okay, sir.
today's classes.
Yeah. So anybody any doubt?
No, sir.
So tomorrow
sir.
tomorrow we will be
No, sir.
joining by 9 only. Okay, I have on Thursday I have another thing to be completed till 9. So I
Sure,
will.
sure, sir. No problem.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Well, guys, thank you very much. Good
Hello,
night.
sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So Thursday will be 9 p.m. or 9 a.m.
9 p.m.
Okay,
AM
okay.
is not feasible option. Okay. 9 p.m. Tomorrow is Thursday, 9 p.m.
Fine, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Thank you,
night
sir.
and take
Bye
care.
bye. Good night.
Bye. Good night.
Bye, sir. Good night.